The men's college basketball championship game took place last night. It was a fun one, but it was Houston and Florida, both 35-4 going to the game. Houston had won 18 straight up to this point, and then I just woke up. I mean, this was a good game, but Houston shouldn't have lost. Florida ended up winning 65-63, which I'm getting to that, but they really shouldn't have lost. Houston they scored the first basket of the game, but they started 1 of 5. They both struggled. It was really a defense struggle, especially in the first half, really throughout the game. Like, it was a lot of good defense. Neither team shot that well. Both teams shot under 40% from the field. Neither team was really able to get to their spots. One Houston held Walter Clayton Jr. to 0 points in the first half. He wasn't able to score, wasn't able to get to the free throw line. Couldn't do anything in that first half. Like, they did a great job containing him. Really, nobody else really did anything either. Really, for either side. Like, it was nobody finished this game with 20 points. It was a few players with double-digit points. LJ Cryer was the only person on Houston in double-digit points. While Florida, they had 3 guys with double-digit points, but nobody had over 20. Like I said, it was a defensive battle. Walter Clayton, he finished the game 3 of 10. Elijah Martin, he was 2 of 10. Will Richard and Alex Colton, they were the only ones that were efficient with 5 and 10 and 5 and 9 as far as the starters go. Jawan Roberts for Houston, 3 of 13. LJ Cryer, 6 of 18. Emmanuel Sharp, 3 of 11. He only had 1 3 in the game. He had been making threes all year. Milos Uzane, he was 2 and 9. So, but it was a lot of bad shots. It was a lot of good defensive possessions as well in that first half. Both teams did a great job rotating on defense, switching when it came to screens. Nobody didn't really see anybody getting lost in the screens in that first half. Like I said, Walter Clayton had 0 points in the first half. Jawan Roberts, he started the game 1 of 5. He was struggling early. But Florida had a lot of early turnovers. They had a lot more than Houston did. And at the end of the first half, Houston was up 31-28. It looked like it was going to be a game that came down to the wire. And that's what it came down to. Once the second half started, LJ Cryer, he hit 2 threes to open up the second half. And then, but at that point, Houston, they had 5 players. They had 5 players with 6 or more points. But that didn't end up mattering in the end. And then Florida, they went on an 8-0 run to cut the lead to 3 to get back into the game. That 8-0 run really helped them. Then they were down by 12 at one point, but 12 points in a basketball game with the whole half left is, well, not at halftime, but 12 points with the amount of time they had left was not that big of a deficit to overcome. But yeah, Houston, they went on a 6-minute stretch of only scoring 3 points. That's how Duke lost their game, because they went 7 minutes without getting a field goal. You can't go multiple minutes with just getting a field goal or no field goals at all. Like, you got to score in those 6 minutes. You got to make the most out of those 6 minutes, which they weren't able to do. And that's why Florida was able to stay in the game. Then throughout the game, it was 11 ties. It was 60-60 with 3 minutes left. Then, like I said, 11 ties throughout the game at this point. Florida wasn't able to capitalize off Walter Clayton. He's a really good playmaker. He set up a good play for Florida, but they weren't able to capitalize on it. And then Florida, they ended up taking a 64-63 lead, which was their first lead since it was 8-6 earlier in the game. And then Sharp, he lost the ball on one of the plays, and then Florida, they was up 65-63 with 19.7 seconds left. Houston, they had the ball, full shot clock, full game clock, because it wasn't a shot clock at this point. And I really didn't understand what their last possession was. Like, the last possession, if Francis would have rolled to the paint, they could have got a layup to tie it and potentially go to overtime. And if they tried to get the 3, it wasn't possible, because LJ Cryer, once he did the pump fake, he let go of the ball. So he couldn't touch it, because he would have called a walk. And nobody else got to the ball in time to get a shot off. So they wasted essentially 20 seconds. They wasted that whole 20 seconds and weren't able to get a shot off. I really don't know what the game plan was. Florida played great defense on that possession, but man, that was a terrible. They didn't even get a shot off in the championship game. But Florida ended up winning 65-63 after losing in the first round last year. Came all the way back and won a championship this year. Will Richard, he finished with 18 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, and 8 rebounds, shooting 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had a good game. Walter Clayton finished with 11 points and 7 assists, 5 rebounds, but all his points came in the second half. Houston defense had locked him down up into that second half, and even then, still wasn't efficient. He ended up shooting 3 of 10 from the field, so they still did a good job on him in the second half, but he was finally getting to the free throw line. He had made 4 out of 4 free throws, and that was all attempted in the second half. For Houston, LJ Crowder finished with 19 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 6 rebounds. He shot 6 of 18 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3, and he made 3 out of his 4 free throws. But he really, aside from that last possession where he were able to walk if he touched the ball, he had a solid game. Yes, the field goal percentage was low, but like I said, with him and Walter Clayton, both defenses won them heavy last night. They weren't really able to get a lot of their shots off, so credit to both teams and how well they played defense. Then Javier Francis with 8 points, 6 rebounds, shooting 4 of 5 from the field. That's all the bench production. Wilson, he had 9 points off the bench as well for Houston. But that last play, I really didn't understand it. And Florida was able to take the win. Shout out to Walter Clayton because he had a phenomenal showing in the tournament. And LJ Crowder, I like him as well. But this was a fun game, but it sucks that Houston couldn't get a shot off. Like, that's one of the worst ways to end the championship game. But leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what y'all thought about the game or about my review. Peace.